There we go. All right, we are live. We're doing a little Jamtabuary, as Andy called it. So I am jamming with Synchrotron today on Jamtaba. Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday. I think we're going out. Everything looks good. I can hear Andy, which is good. Thanks. Appreciate that, Steve. Good morning, Freddie. Pseudo reboot. I've got a robot right here, buddy. Moser. So today's going to be really calm because playing with Andy just makes me chill. Hey, Craig, my case. He wants to change it to 120. Sure. All right, we got to change the BPM to 120. That's pretty fast for Andy. I'm surprised. That's not right. $120. Hang on, gang. Wow, that's wicked fast for Andy. Okay. Gotta tell him, yep, I'm sync 2. Gotta move some stuff around. I gotta delete all this and start over. That's fine. I had a few things prepped, but let's see. All right. Perfect. All right. All right. So I'm ignoring the chat for a minute because I want to make sure we're all good. Woo! Collaboration. Tricky. Andy do his thing. There we go. Yeah. Andy at 120 BPM is crazy. I was thinking 60, but it's equivalent, more or less. Oh my God. Thanks, Craig. Synchrotron just hit 1,000 subscribers. Way to go, dude. Congratulations, Andy. I don't look at those numbers, and I assumed you were, like, much higher than that, but whatever. Congratulations. If that makes you happy, awesome. Hey, Skyer. Yeah, you should hear a guitar in here. Chat at Andy real quick. Say, sounds good here. Nice guitar. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to mute my mic, in fact. And play a little bit here. Let's see what he brings in. Yeah, so for people who aren't who didn't see any of the communication yesterday, I am hooked up to Synchrotron's jam this morning. We are sharing our audio with each other using a tool called Jamtaba. And so the guitar you hear is him. He's also got a bit of a drone running. And right now that sort of arpeggiating, that's him. The bass guitar is me. And I'm going to bring in a low drone here. So if you just want to hear pure music and nobody yammering over it, you could go look at Synchrotron's stream. I'm gonna get the link for that. Although almost everybody who's here knows Andy, and it's probably already there. So, but I'll post it for the new people, if there are any new people this morning. Let's go get Andy's stream. Hang on one second. Do a little manual typing here on the old Discord. Oh, thank you, Craig. Craig, it doesn't help me when you throw the URL parameter on there. Just because you can't post a link. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Here's a case where it might be nice to make someone a spanner, but I'm OCD. Mean person. Let's see. Let's go over to Discord. Let's hop in our events. There we go. Copy that link. Let's put it here. Hey, Davey. All right, so that's Synchrotron. And I can't spell jamming. There we go. Hey, Jeff. All right, so who's in here? Craig, River. Hey, Trusto. Jeff, Craig, Mike Hayes, Skyer, Davey, Tracker Jack, Freddie, Pseudo Reboot, and Steve. Cool. Oh, that's cool. And he's got this, like, some sort of destructive pad playing. I want to set up some pattern, but I need something that's not too. Not too over the top. We got plenty of time. There we go. That'll work. Little fairy bells thing going on here. Do a 16-bar pattern. putting some drones down on the route. I've got a lead set up that I'll play when he stops his lead. There's a lot in both streams right now. That's cool. Hey, Audrin Santiago. Hello to Rio de Janeiro. Do your best, Davey. It was 420 comedy gold. So I'm jamming with synchrotron right now. Here we go. Second. Let's set some. There we go. Set some velocities there. Kill this lead so he could play over it. I'll bring in a sharper lead a little bit later. And we take out some of these patterns that are running. The bass is the constant. The bass is running and running and running. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. I still got this cold. Yeah, with the lighting now, I had to reposition because I'm reworking on the reorganizing the studio today. So now the laser's pointing at me a little bit. So you get, laser snot. It's fantastic. going to stop this pattern. And let's do something new. Put a little breathy pad in here. Again, I'm being really careful to adjust velocities here because I don't want any of my notes to like suddenly blare out over him. In fact, one of those notes there throws him off. I play a C, which is nice dissonance for me, but not necessarily for him. That is better. Because he's playing... Yeah, I think it's fine. So, I'm not a great jammer, but I try and listen to what my partner's playing. And I know he's doing the same. Change this op6 sound around. I want to find a different patch here that's not too distracting. Hold on a second. All right, that'll work. Go. And his lead's down, so I'm going to try playing a lead here. sorry, I'm totally ignoring the chat right now. I am in a robe. Not a hefter robe. It's a terry cloth, not silk. I should not ignore the Jamtaba chat. There we go. I'm going to change the bass up a little bit. You know what? It's solid. We're going to leave it alone. Kieran asks, what is our leads sound? It was sort of a mid-tier square sort of thing going on, and then a second ago I changed it over to this bell thing. But I've just changed the lead to a super saw. Nothing's playing. The next time around, after he's done taking a lead or a little solo, I'm gonna bring in some super saw lead, which may or may, as long as it's not too disruptive, I think it should fit. If I ride the level on it, it should be okay. All right, while he's soloing, let me look at the chat here. Let's see. Hey, Gozinigans. Sorry I missed you earlier. Kieran. Synth Seeker. Nice one, Anna. Thanks for sharing, Craig. Synth Hefter robe. It's morning. Hey, Wabbit's not in here, but Wabbit, I'm not wearing pants. I think Trusto and Moser were in here a second ago, so no pants, just the robe. We'll get our laser snot out of the way. And Dan is jamming on his drums. That's cool. Dan, Gold Commander Dan. Hi, Gold Commander Dan. You're not in here, you're jamming on your drums, but if you ever see this recording later, I hope you're having fun. Yeah, I think the bass is fine. It's really fundamental. Bum, 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 bum. You know, it's working. How do you transport audio signals from Andy? We use a tool called Jamtaba. And so I'm sending him my audio and he's sending me his. And we're kept in sync by the system, the Jamtaba system. It's not, our downbeats are synced, but we're playing 8 beats apart from each other. So when I play a note, he hears it 8 beats later. And when he plays a note, I hear it 8 beats later. It's a cool system. Cool, Steve. Gonna put a little soft horn. What happens in the middle is Jamtaba's problem. It keeps our tempos synced and our downbeats synced, so we can play like arpeggios and sequences as long as harmonically they're copacetic. So we're like just messing around in D Dorian right now. Like if I did a chord change to something, like if I modulated to a different key, he wouldn't hear it for 8 beats and it would just screw everything up because we can't synchronize our chord changes unless we set up a convention where we agree, okay, we're going to do this chord pattern that works 8 bars apart, or one of us agrees to play it 8 bars early, that's less fun. All right, I'm going to bring in this super saw lead. We'll see. He's got this soaring lead over it. So I'm going to play. There we go. All right, 16 bars of that little riff there. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. So it fades into the background. There, now he could play over it. I wish he would make his guitar more front and center. I'll have to go listen to his stream. Because it may be, that's the one thing about Jamtaba, getting the mix right across us is tricky. To change that super saw out to like a fluty lead that's a little softer, and that'll let his guitar sort of bite through. The guitar timbre is hard to push that through a super saw, so we will push it. I'll change it to a flute so the guitar sounds much more distinctive over the flute sort of square wave sound. It's like building a tapestry, right? Right? Nobody gets to be, well, when we do it, nobody gets to be Eddie Van Halen and go crazy. He's playing subtle-ish, and I try and match his subtlety. Let me read the chat here real quick. Hey, Viral Beats. Nice. Hey, Grace. Grace, I haven't seen you in what seems like weeks. Hope your holiday was good. Hope you're doing well. Garen Spencer, are you new? Hey, man. So what you're hearing right now is I've got the bass guitar line going. I've got a drone there and a very soft flute lead doing a repetitive sort of high lead. And the guitar you're hearing is Synchrotron coming through on Jamtaba. I'll shut up and let you listen. Hey, James. guitar is more up front on Andy's stream. Yeah, let me push it up a little bit here. There. We bumped him a couple decibels. We'll see if that makes a difference. I'm going to pull this flute lead out. I'm going to bring this synth pad that's got this like satellite. That's going to come from me, and that's just going to provide background texture. Thanks, Viral. The urge to add more is really strong, right? So I have to hold myself back and be like, no, just let it float for a little while. Andy brought his guitar up a bit. Cool. I bumped him 2 decibels as well. But that brings up everything. That brings the guitar and the drones up. So, whatever. It's fine. I think I really want to take a bass solo. Like a little prog rocky kind of Chris Squire kind of bass solo. That's going to happen. We've been going for what, 30 minutes? It'll happen before the end. Dr. Felix, hey, Andy is pushing my stuff over his, and he's got his guitar hidden on his side? I don't know what that means. You mean he's pushing the audio? He shouldn't. He should push his own. Or mix us equally. All right, he seems to have taken a break, so I'm gonna put a bass solo over this. There we went back to normal. That was fun. Wasn't a solo so much as a bass variation, but that's okay. We'll bring in one of the ARPs. There is a jazz note. When the bass is providing like a foundation like it is here, it's really just droning with a little syncopation. Bum, 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 bum. That like forms this foundation of the groove, and changing it can screw things up. And so I went and changed it a bit. In retrospect, probably shouldn't have, but that's okay. We're all friends here. Freddie says the session reminds me of the sound of a band called Großschnitt. Is that a B? Is that B an S set or is that a B? Großschnitt? Grabschnitt? Called solar music. Interesting. They were active in your neighborhood? Nice. Did they play in your church basement? Nice, James. I posted a link to Andy's earlier. Let's see. I'll go post it again. Let me go find it. Hold on. Yeah, if you want to go listen to Andy, he's over here. You could get the same thing at a different perspective. Trusto with the pants. Yeah, I have no pants on. I was in such a hurry. Here's too much information. So everybody, I don't think there's no children in the room. I'm not going to be profane, but I'm going to say something probably inappropriate for small ears. I'll wait. Are there any children in the room? Let me know. Proof is required. I'm not going to point the camera down, but I will say that I was in such a hurry to get in here because I woke up a little bit late. The dog was demanding. He said, I have to go outside and go to the bathroom. He was quite clear. He's like, let me pee, let me have a cookie, and then I'll go back to sleep and you can go do your thing. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I run him out to the yard, and it's like 13 degrees out. And I'm just in a robe. Let me tell you, that wind whipped the robe, to the side, came in and took a bite. And I was awake then, man. Like, whoa, it's a little brisk. Okay, they're gone. Nice. Thanks, Kieran. Bubba's fine. He's got a fur coat. All right, so let me put a lead down over this, just a repetitive, like an ARP kind of lead. Actually, we'll bring in that drone again. Kids under 18. Yep. And I will not say, Trusto, whether I also peed outside this morning. In support of my dog. Come on, man, let's mark the territory all over the yard. Hey, Michael. All right, I'm going to put a little ARPy thing with this super saw lead over this, just subtly. what I meant to do. I needed to delete the old pattern. Oh, and he decided to take a lead now. All right, so I'll stop. I won't do that yet. I will leave this going. When he finishes his lead, I'll go put a ARP with that supersaw lead over and we'll let it run. Thanks, Moser. Being outside is healthy. Of course it is. 13-degree weather. Keeps the neighbors' cats away. It does, yes. And we have coyotes here, actually. But we have a fenced yard, so I'm not that worried. I let my dog out. He's about the size of a loaf of bread, and he looks like a sheep. So we have to be careful when we're walking him in the winter, because the coyotes will come down from there's an aqueduct that runs near us that's that's state land, right? So it's a forest, basically, at the aqueduct. And it's a water source, and so the coyotes sort of hang out there. And in the winter, when food gets scarce, they will come down from the aqueduct and hang out in our neighborhood and eat cats, among other things. We have a lot of rabbits. Kieran, the family that pees in the garden together stays together, said Abraham Lincoln. I think that's a quote. He also said something about killing vampires as well, I'm pretty sure. All right, Andy's still soloing. That's fine. I'm going to start this. He's calming down, so I'm going to play this supersaw ARP over here. Real subtle. Now we'll play with the volume. We'll see if he can figure out how to play over that. So I just let the pattern run, so it should establish itself in his ear after 8 bars or so, and then it, however many times it repeats after that, and we'll see if he can figure out a way. It's like throwing a puzzle at your friends. It's like, here's a little progression. It's totally going to loop after 16 bars, and so let's see if he can pick out a solo over it that he's happy with. It's like I've heard it described as when you're jamming with someone, you throw shapes at them, was the phrase that I read. It's like you throw a shape at your friends when you're jamming, and you keep that shape repeating, right? So that it won't change, so they can listen to it and respond to it and try and build something over it. And so they're throwing a shape back at you, right? And then you can remove the one that you had done, listen to what they've been doing, and then put something new together and send it back to them, right? So you pass these musical shapes back and forth when you're jamming, at least on Jamtaba. I don't know if that's a good metaphor, but that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to bring the volume of it down a little bit to encourage him to play over it. There he goes. Hey, Jeff. Good luck at work today, man. Sorry I have to work on a Saturday. Hey, Biscuit. Michael, you're in Madison? Yeah, we have Fox The coyotes we only see in the winter. No, Tracker Jack, it's not Wile E. Coyote. Although, good reference. Yeah, call and response, kind of. It's a little more extended than call and response. It's more like, you know, it's a little longer, sort of established pattern, and then you let it run for a while. He's got it. If you listen to it, he's figured it out. Sounds great. The MIDI clocks are, yes, they are synced. Their downbeats are synced. If you've ever used Ableton Link to synchronize, that's basically, it's very similar to that, except there's an 8-beat latency. Hey, Oscar Rivas, are you new? Welcome. So let's talk about the synths. So if you want pure music, if you just want to float and jam out, scroll back in the chat. Here, I'll post it again. Andy, his stream is here. And you can hear both of us. And Andy's really good about not talking over the jam. I'm a teacher, and I won't shut up. So hang out here if you want to hear me yammer about this. And go listen to Andy if you just want to, like, vibe. All right, so fair is fair. Throw it both ways. Oscar asked, what synths do you have connected? So I'm not going to move the camera around, but what's playing right now, I have 2 VSTs and a sampled bass guitar, and then a bunch of hardware. What you're hearing is a drone playing an Omnisphere that's lost in the mix. It's adding to the overall drone, but there's this like vocal drone that's playing. You can hear a super soft sort of arpeggiated repeated lead going on. Right, that is Omnisphere. Okay, doing a little super soft thing. I should bring that down and let Andy do something new over it. There is a bass guitar sampled Rickenbacker playing, and Andy's got a bass synth doing the same thing. So they're basically playing almost unison. And then hardware-wise, for January, I'm keeping basically the same rig for all of January. I've got a Korg Op 6. That's doing a little ARP. There's a wave state that's not droning anything right now. I use it for drones. And a Korg Mod Wave that's doing a drone with this sort of like these sort of high. There it is. Right. There's also a Summit and a Hydrosynth attached, but they're not actually doing anything right now. I'll bring them in and out as needed. So we've got a fair amount of hardware. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hardware synths and 3 VSTs, or samplers. Oh, you want to really mess with Andy? Should we put some drums in? I don't know. Should we? I'm going to set up for some drums. Just a drum loop. Something really simple. This might screw with things. I should probably ask his permission first. So hold on, I'm gonna go over to the Jamtaba Jam. Let me ask him. Do you want me to experiment with dropping a drum loop in here? Question mark? We'll see. So if you guys are in Andy's chat, ask him. Luke wants to know if Andy's willing to let me try and put a drum in here. Little rock drum, a little proggy thing. Catch up on the chat here. Andy's mix is louder. I am really, like from a YouTube perspective, you might have to play with the levels to get it. If you're listening to both and you're trying to mix them. Oh, there was the jazz note. I heard that. Zinagons, you've played with Ableton Link? Yeah, the Force does support it. Ableton Link is super convenient. I've got a couple hardware clock units that listen to the network for Ableton Link, and it'll send clock out to modular gear or to MIDI. It's nice. Craig says, do it. I gotta wait and see what Andy says. Andy said, yeah, okay. All right, we're gonna bring in a drum part. Slowly. See how bad it is. All right, you guys let me know whether that should be louder or not. And don't be like standard drummers, turn it up, man. Like, I'm trying to have the drums be there, but subtly. Yeah, so I had to pick a drum loop blind. I couldn't hear it because I'm not set up to monitor the drums without broadcasting it. So I couldn't like just click through the loops because that would have sounded like ass. Oops, sorry. Kids are in the room. I'd really try not to curse on stream. So I had to pick a loop blind and hope that it wasn't like like something really swingy, because we're not in a swing place. We're definitely in a on the grid place. Kieran, crank it up, man. Remember that old commercial for that double album Freedom Rock? Remember that, like Randy of the Redwoods selling, hey man, is that Freedom Rock? Turn it up. Yeah, it goes to the gods. Yeah, it works great over Wi-Fi. Ableton Link. So now I'm definitely in a rhythmic supporting role. I've got bass and drums playing. I've got a couple arps going. I'm not going to screw with it. This is now the Andy solo guitar show. I want Andy to solo as much as he wants to. Hey, Don. Yeah, I can hear him. He's like into it. Andy's definitely into it. That's fine. Audrey Santiago, both tabs are open real stereo on YouTube. You could say it's like quad almost. Put me in the back channels of your surround system. We could do quad. So, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago now, at the New England Synthesizer Festival, they gave me an entire room to myself, and I set up a quad rig with 4 speakers, the 4 corners, and 2 subs, and just had a quad rig set up all day at the festival, and people could walk in and come stand in the middle of the quad ring, and I had set up some controllers with instruments that were just playing, a piece I had prepared, but I had a bank of knobs you could turn and move the instruments in a circle around you. It was super fun. And people would come in and just you could turn parts on and off, like starting their loops playing for different instruments, and then dial in where you wanted them. It was amazingly fun. But it was such a pain in the butt to haul that quad rig everywhere that I eventually was like, I just don't want to. I'm like, I'm old and out of shape, and so I stopped like traveling. Also, COVID hit, right? This was pre-COVID, and so I basically was storing this giant pile of gear for doing quadraphonic, and just like maybe 6 months ago, I finally sold. I sold the subs and stuff like that. So, James, have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out. Let me catch up on the chat here. Quad is fun, but it's hard to do well. It's tough. And if your listeners aren't set up to listen to things in quad, it's like, it's pointless, right? So quad failed because there's no good distribution. Now, I brought the drums in. Let's make sure we're not clipping. No, the mains are not clipping. That's fine. All right, we're at the 6 o'clock mark. I told Andy we would do this for about an hour and then I'd get out of his hair and let him finish his stream. All right, I'm asking Andy if he wants to wind it down because it's been an hour. Say, do you want to just slowly bring it back down to just a drone and see what he wants to do? He needs more cowbell. Thanks, Craig. Hey, Audrin Santiago, if you want to try doing quad, search for Wendy Carlos quad, and you'll find a series of like old school website articles that she wrote about her experiments in getting quad done in the 60s. And she talks about speaker placement and like more science than you could possibly want about how to do quad well. Because if you set up the stuff wrong, they end up canceling each other out. So go search on Google for Wendy Carlos quad, and you'll get a bunch of her articles about that. That's what we used to try and set it up, and it worked well. So, heads up. All right, I'm bringing the drums out. Andy said okay. Bring the drums out slowly, subtly. Out, so it's just a drone. Oh, and for Audrey likes having a low drone. We'll bring the sub in. Little noodle at the ending. And we're out. We'll tell him I'm out. won't say out. I'm down. Nice. That was awesome, Andy. Thank you so much. That was freaking awesome. All right, now Andy's going to continue his stream, and I'm going to stop and go listen to his stream. All right. So thank you, everyone. Is Jamtaba free? Yes. Jamtaba is free, but the infrastructure isn't, so you need to have a server that you can run it on, right? There's a bunch of public Jamtaba servers, though, so you can install it, set it up, and then go play with strangers, which is actually a lot of fun. So I can provide you a link to the Jamtaba stuff. Hold on a second. Let's see. We go to, what is it? Jam? Jeff Hops set this up. Jeff Hopkins. Hang on a second. Let me go get the link. All right, Andy, I'm going to jump out. All right. There we go. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to start a drone up on this end. So we're disconnected from Synchrotron. So hang on a second. Let me get a link to the Jamtaba stuff, and I will share it with you, and you can explore it yourself. Hold on one sec. Hang on a second. Here we go. All righty, let's put this in the old chatteroo. There you go. You can hear me. Cool. All right, let's drone. Get a little drone going here. That'll work. And a little bass drone. And we'll get this op6 pattern running again. Let's bring the tempo down. The delay. What I didn't want to do while I was jamming with Andy was start dialing through presets looking for something. So let's do this. But I could do that now and not offend Andy, so. There we go. There we go. Thank you, everybody. We had a super fun time. All right, so let me just go through the chat, and then I'm going to shut her down. I'm going to go hang out in Andy's stream for a bit, okay? Let's see. You found it, Audrin. Yeah, Adventures in Surround from 7.2 to Quad. You got it. Go read those articles. It'll teach you everything you need to know about setting up Quad. Maybe not the hardware aspect, like what kind of interface and software you need, but it'll get you for speaker placement and stuff like that. Oscar wants to jump into jam sometime. Yeah, hey man, send us a note. Put a comment on the channel or on one of the videos, and we can figure something out. So yeah, we're using a private Jamtaba server because there are a lot of people on Jamtaba. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are a certain percentage of people on Jamtaba who play well. Well, there's some people who don't play well, and they're just there to make noise, and that's fine. But there's a lot of people who do play well, but they don't understand always how to listen to the people they're playing with. And so some people treat Jamtaba as an environment where they go to get a backing track that they can then solo their piano playing, their keyboard playing, or solo their guitar playing, or whatever their instrument of choice is. They kind of treat you like you are just the band that lets them be the lead person, which is like a dream come true for a lot of people. And I understand why they are that way. But those people annoy the... Try not to curse. They annoy me a lot. And I'm overly sensitive to that stuff, okay? So, like, take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I've had some awesome Jamtaba experiences where you get on a public server and you listen. Before you start playing, you listen for a bit on what they're doing. You go to the chat and say, look at what key they're in. And then you join in subtly. If you've ever, if you play, if you go on YouTube and Google traditional Irish session, and you'll get some recordings of people who are playing together in a bar, right? And there's an etiquette around how do you join in, how do you play without being disruptive, how do you make, because the goal is to make the overall piece, the overall jam, like transcend for everybody, right? So you have to listen to what's going on and add your part subtly and pay attention, and they, and then wait for people to say, give you the nod or give you the eye or smile at you and be like, and nod and, be like, oh yeah, you sound good, go do more, right? So you got to pay attention. And it's the same thing with Jamtaba, but the only thing you can do is type in the chat. So you got to listen and watch. So I've had some really great experiences in Jamtaba on public servers. And I've had some annoying ones, right? But go check it out. It's super fun. So what software are you using to jam? So if you go to the link I posted, there's a link in there to the software as well. Okay. Let's see. Let me read the chat. Oh, thanks for all the applause, guys. You're awesome. It was Andy's inspiration. I'm along for the ride. I love playing with him. Why do I like playing with Synchrotron so much? I like jamming with everyone I jam with. Animotion Music, I've jammed with, super fun. Garen M, Jeff Hops, Dr. Cynthio. There's a couple more. I don't jam very often. They jam a lot more than I do. Dr. Cynthio, let's see. Nanoside, did we jam Nano? And there's another one too. And his handle is escaping me. I'm sorry. And he's a part of my community too. I should say my community. Part of the community around my channel. It's not mine, it's ours. But I've jammed with a few people. And the reason I like jamming with Andy isn't so much that we sound awesome, and I think we do sound, I like it. I think we sound great. But I like going and watching Andy stream after and seeing him smile. Because when Andy smiles, his face lights up like the sun rising. It's just awesome. So, it's good. Let's see. Oh, Viral. Thanks, man. So, if you become I'm not in this for the money. I'm not trying to make a living off of doing YouTube. I'm just going to throw it out there. We have a private Discord server. If you feel you want to be a part of it, there's only two ways to do that. You could become a member on the channel. It costs $1 a month. Or you could go sign up for my Patreon, which costs $1 a month. I don't do like sample packs or any of that. There's nothing you're going to get out of it except access to our Discord server. where you can come hang out with a really amazing group of synth nerds. And that's all. And there's lots of that out there. So I'm not saying we're better than anyone else. Okay. You can go hang out at lots of open Discords. I'm a member of the New England Synthesizer community. They've got an open Discord. Synthera, the label, the sort of ambient music label, they've got an open Discord. Lots of cool synth people there. But if you want to come hang out with us, you can become a member of the channel, or you can sign up for Patreon. If you do, what happens with the money is we just leave it in the bank, and then once a year we give it away. Like, it's total charity. So we do that in July. Anyway, yeah, jamming is about communion, for sure. That's exactly right, Audrin. Andy's going back to 0 BPM. That's the running joke. Andy, what BPM should we be using? 0. Okay. And what key? C major. Yeah, exactly. All right. I am going to shut down and go hang out on Synchrotron's stream. Okay. And so I'll see you there. And for the rest of January, I jam at 5 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And I don't publicize it in advance. I just start up the stream. So come visit the channel if that's in a time block where you're free. I'll be jamming for the rest of the month at that time, usually for about an hour. Right, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes a little bit more than an hour. Okay? All right, guys. Hey, Ricardo Zara. Are you new? If you're new, welcome. And if you've come back and I forgot you, I'm sorry. So, all right, I got to shut her down. And we are going to, here, because it was a synchrotron day, I'm actually going to fade out the audio. Because Andy likes fade outs, but it also fades out my mic. Bye, guys. I'll see you later.